So we're in San Francisco, in Jefferson Square Park, and in the dark, talking in the
We're
dark.
in a light spot.
In a light spot. It's dark. But the fact of the matter is, we are in San Francisco, and I'm talking to a San Franciscan.
I am a San Franciscan.
And she is. I know that. For quite a while, she's been a San Franciscan. And what is your name, San Franciscan?
My name is Lydia. I actually used to live on Treasure Island, and I would like to tell the people of Treasure Island that I'm a San Franciscan, and I care about the plight of people living on Treasure Island. I was living on Treasure Island back when they were taking dirt out of people's yards because it was heck of toxic. And they weren't really telling us at the time why they were taking dirt out of people's yards and replacing it. But I did a little research and figured out why, and although the media wasn't really covering it at that time. And so even though it's a really lovely and inexpensive place to live, when I lost my roommate situation there, I did not endeavor to find another place on the island because I was concerned about the pollution and the radioactivity, because I know that they used to wash down radioactive ships at Treasure Island.
And what year were you living there, Lydia?
I think that was around 2002.
Wow. That was early in the process, because I think they decommissioned it in about 1997, and so you were there early, and even back then they weren't talking much.
They weren't saying anything about it. They were really, it was really the fact that they downplayed it so much that made me suspicious.
Yeah. Where were you living?
I was living, I think, on Gateview Drive.
Yeah.
Treasure Island is really nice because it's so inexpensive, and it only takes about 15 minutes to get downtown on the bus, and the bus runs all night. And you don't have to drive since there's a bus. And it doesn't smell like piss on Treasure Island, which is lovely, and you don't even notice how much the city smells like piss until you get off of the city for a few minutes, even though you're still in the city technically. And you get a breath of fresh air.
It's a very beautiful community, really.
It is. We had a fenced yard that my cat loved to lounge in. There was a laundry room in our house, which is practically unheard of in San Francisco. Mm-hmm. There were yards. I don't know why you'd grow a yard instead of food, but, you know, they are kind of pretty.
The folks on Treasure Island are actually feeling kind of trapped. They need to get off the island. They feel a lot of folks are living in subsidized housing, and I think they're frightened to say anything for fear they'll lose housing, and some of them have been homeless. They don't want to go through that again. What would you say to them about this?
It's a really hard situation. I mean, having been formerly homeless myself, I really understand the conundrum, and it really is hard to find a place, subsidized or not, that's as cheap as Treasure Island is. Community Housing Partnership manages some properties on Treasure Island.
They do.
And so that's a particular concern to me, since I'm on the board of Community Housing Partnership. And I really don't know what to tell them except keep making noise, keep making noise, keep making noise, keep complaining. Use the hierarchy. Ask, can I speak to your boss? You just have to keep doing it. For example, Jane Kim is the supervisor that supervises District 6,
right?
Which Treasure Island is a part of. Being that it's an election year, this is the perfect time for you to call up Jane Kim's office and tell her that one of your hot button issues is the pollution on Treasure Island, and what is she going to do about cleaning it up and making sure that people are accountable for the pollution that's down there and the health problems that it's causing. And what the heck is she going to do about relocating people
who need to get out of that place?
Yeah.
Thanks.
We all deserve a healthy neighborhood to live in. Keep calling the papers, keep calling the media, keep commenting about what your situation is when stories are printed.
If a reporter approaches you out there, and there are plenty of reporters now because of all the to-do about this.
Tell them all about it.
Talk to them. That's really good advice. That's really good.
And put a face on the issue. Tell them about your kids that have asthma. Tell them about your stepson that has lupus. There are so many autoimmune diseases that are happening because of these kinds of toxins, pollution, and radiation, and people don't understand the extent of the problem yet, and they're not going to understand it, and they're not going to understand that it's such a pervasive problem if people don't speak out about it. And people are afraid to speak out about it because they want to just forget about it, but you can't let people forget.
Thanks. This is so good. I really appreciate you making the statement. We love you, Treasure Island.